Alright, so today we got another review. I haven't ordered anything fun for the Jeep in a while, but this was something I've been looking at, and I think a lot of other people who have older Jeeps and don't want that old radio that can only play CDs. You know, everyone likes to listen to music while they're driving, so most people who have an older radio, like anything you'd find, I don't know how, when they started installing radios that had USB or iPod, you know, MP3 jacks to hook up your MP3 player to. But this one came with a stock radio, and the stock radio could only, you know, go on the radio and play CDs, and it wouldn't even recognize certain CDs. So naturally, I got an aftermarket radio that could do everything I wanted, specifically USB interface. And this is a Kenwood KDQ X395, because a simple name just wouldn't be as fun to say. There are plenty of models like this, but most are kind of similarly shaped like this. Now, if you look at this and you realize how the shape and the size of this Kenwood versus how big the stock radio was, which is put away in a box for me right now, and I never plan to take it out again. But you know, it's great. I got the aftermarket radio and I'm happy with it. But without this bezel around here, it's just you can see right in through to the dash. And I kind of didn't like that, so I wanted to get a bezel, and I've seen aftermarket bezels that fill in the gaps. Now, this is, and let me read to you, I'll put a link in the description exactly what this was called and where I got it from, Amazon.com. This is called a Jeep 1999 through 07 single DIN aftermarket radio stereo installation dash kit for Grand Cherokee, Liberty, and Wrangler, which already tells you it's sort of you know, a universal for all types of Jeeps. It's not specifically for Wranglers, but I assumed most of the dashes would be pretty similar. Obviously, something here it lists 99 through 07, and 07 were JKs, whereas 99 through 06 were TJs, and the JK is a completely different dash. So I knew this probably wasn't gonna fit perfectly. I've seen people get ones that look a lot better. I mean, if you just look at this like this, it doesn't look too bad. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull my dash out, which actually comes out very easy in case you have never done this yourself. You want to just start from the top. You don't need to take anything out. I think maybe you might want to take the vent piece out right here, which you could do, but I've had this come out, and mine already, when I picked this up, was already missing one of the prongs that keeps it in. If this just comes out, take it off from the top, just be careful. I know one of these here is like doesn't pop in properly, but the whole thing comes out nice and easy. And then we've got the where your radio would go, and you can see now if I remove the kit, which is not going to be easy because I actually have it. This is the brings me to the problem with this kit, is it's not specifically for Jeep Wrangler TJ. And I know even like the later TJ's dashes are a little bit different, I think. I'm not totally sure. I haven't seen a lot of inside dashes of 04s, 05s, and 06s. But I'm just trying to be as careful as I can. Let me pop my radio out. Might give you a better perspective of the whole thing. And the radio came with its own little bezel around it, which is what I've kind of got shoved in. It actually took me a lot of effort to put this in. So let me get this out of here after I worked so hard to get it in so I can show you what it'll look like. Okay, so here you go. This is it out. This is what it would look like if you could, you know, imagine this not here. You'd have your whole stock radio there. And then see the aftermarket one. There are a couple ways you could do this. I ended up just taking this piece of wood here, drilling it into the dash because it was just plastic, and then drilling the case that this goes into. This just slides into this case, into the wood, and it fits well. It doesn't move when I'm driving, and it's perfect. It's you know, basic. But without that there, essentially it looks, you know, something like this, and then you put the dash back on for the cover here, and what you get more or less is a lot of free space there. Even if I threw the piece on there, still be a lot of backspace. So even when you're sitting here, you can see in through the dash. So it doesn't look very very finished when you have an aftermarket radio, and I think most people are going to find this issue. So I wanted this bezel to complete the look to go in here. The problem with this bezel that I was a little disappointed with, I figured it wouldn't fit perfectly. However, I was hoping to see these factory holes where the radio would go in, the original radio. I was hoping they would make use of these. I was wrong. They did not make use of these like I hoped they would. These do not line up when you have this here, and arguably, you know, your aftermarket radio might not sit here. It might sit a little further down or something, and that could make a difference. But this is mine. This is how it worked out for me. So it's more of jerry-rigging to try and make it fit. So it's like, okay, well, I can get this to stick in between this piece and it won't move, you know, reliably. Then I can, you know, I can put my radio back in. I can get that in, and I can put the original bezel for the radio in with part of it. And you know, it looks okay, but it didn't. My problem with this product is that it could have made use of this, but it's very universal because obviously it lists Liberty and Cherokee. It's not specifically for Wrangler, and that's just too bad. There might be a more specific one. I couldn't find one. This is what I think most people end up with, but it's not awful. So just to get an idea, like that's what it'll look like. Give me 1 second. So more or less, here's what you get when your aftermarket radio, your average aftermarket radio, is installed into a Jeep Wrangler dash like this. You have a lot of empty spot. You can see right into the wood there. It just doesn't look very finished. You know what I mean? It's kind of just sitting there. You can tell it was an aftermarket thing. So this, you would hope, would just kind of like, you know, fit in there really well. But it does and it doesn't. I think I'm just I was hoping for more, but should have expected less. I think I'd just, you know, give this product like a 3 out of 5, 3 stars out of 5, 5 out of 10. Average, it's not, you know, it's not specifically, even though it lists my Jeep, you know, the year specifically to fit this, it's not made specifically to fit this. So again, just to be clear, I was just disappointed that it didn't take advantage of the stock, you know, factory holes that were for the, it just doesn't look like you pick this up and you think, oh yeah, I can fit one over there and I can fit one over here, and that'll screw it in, make it, you know, just right, and it'll fit in nice. But no, I mean, right here you can see I'm looking on this. It doesn't really move. I mean, I guess, you know what I mean. I can't complain because it does fit. It just feels more like I'm, you know, jerry-rigging it as opposed to, oh yeah, they definitely intended this to go in with this, and great idea. But unfortunately, that's not how this product works out. So, you know, then I get the radio's bezel in there along with the bezel for the whole kit here. Not that it's much of a kit, because all it literally came with this. No install instructions, no screws. So they obviously didn't intend that to exactly work out. Maybe they intended you, maybe on like a Cherokee or a Liberty, you could make use of the screws. I mean, I have the factory screws for these holes that the radio went into, but they don't even match up to fit mine. You know what I mean? This is just held in between, like literally just force held in there. And yes, it works. It just it doesn't work as well as I would hope it would. So again, with the entire dash on, you know, you kind of get a look at it like this, and it looks better. It does look better when you compare it to the way it looked when you could see through all of this into the dash. It didn't look so good, and I mean, it is just an aesthetic thing, and that's what this is. It is an aesthetic thing. But like I said, it fits. I can use my radio. You know, I can plug in my USB. I can do everything. It's not a problem. I can still use all my dash. It's on there fairly well. You can see it's got a little bit of an area here where it feels like it could have been molded a bit better to fit, but it fills in the gaps. Just you know, looking at it from a distance, even, you know, looking at it forward and getting a good look at it, it still looks much better. I guess I was expecting a perfect fit and to make use of these holes, which again, I guess not a big deal because it's not moving around, but you know, I sort of expected it to fit perfectly. But this is more of a universal kind of fit for all types of Jeep. So again, this was the Jeep 1999 through 07 single DIN aftermarket radio stereo installation dash kit for Grand Cherokee, Liberty, and Wrangler. And if you're driving a Wrangler TJ like me, it should also fit 97 and 98. They should be identical to my 2000. Whereas some of the newer ones, I believe it might be 03 or 04 and then up, the dashes are slightly different, I believe. I'm not entirely sure, don't quote me on that, but 97 through 2000 should be identical. So the fact that it lists 99 as the earliest date is actually incorrect. So a lot of things aren't as listed correctly as I would hope for this, but this is what you'd get. It looks good. It wasn't too expensive. The shipping was a little costly, but that could depend on, you know, where you are. So, yeah, I got this, you know, excluding the shipping, it was about $7, which isn't bad for a little aesthetic kit that would just cover up what an aftermarket radio would look like installed into a older Jeep's dash. Like I said, this might fit better on Liberties, Cherokees. I have no idea, but as far as my Jeep Wrangler, my 2000 TJ, is concerned, it looks good. I'd still give it an average rating based on the price and how it actually came out looking and the way it's actually installed, because clearly this can't be installed. And even if I push back a little bit too far here, if I were to actually do that, now this is, it's pushed back, and I would have to take off my dash again to kind of move this up so it's flush again. But I'm mostly nitpicking. It's a small thing. I just want to make a review on it because it's something I'd been looking at for a while. I got it here now, and this is just my honest thoughts on it. So if it's something you like, something you think, oh yes, I've been looking for something like this, or well, now I know I don't want it. So that's going to be it for me. Those are my thoughts. Hope this helped you guys out. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll catch you later.